Very good. So this is our fourth in the series of six, our fourth Tech Labs. And I want to say, what am I saying? Okay, Pam, ready? I'm going to do hola and
Yes.
bonjour, ciao, ni hao. And that's about it. I'm trying to think of other hellos that I could get, but that's about all I got right now. So we're doing this class tonight is on translation and language apps. If you're thinking it's something else, we encourage you to stay anyway because it's really going to be important and interesting. But if you think it's something else, I'm sorry. I think you're in the right place anyway. Pam Duran, as most of you know, I'm hoping everybody knows, is our tech guru. She has been with our library, with the Rogen Library, since 2017. Feeling kind of old now, Pam, but anyway, she's been conducting tech labs with us for that long, and she's also a technology guru, and she teaches teachers and students and all kinds of other people. And now, currently, she is a digital accessibility coordinator, which is with SUNY Empire. Am I right, Pam? At SUNY
That's
Empire.
right.
And she assists people with disabilities to access and interact with websites, digital tools, and other technologies. And it's a very, very, very important job. And I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing. So thanks for coming on with us, Pam, because you're great. And she is our tech guru, and we love her. And take it away, Pam.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Oh, gracias.
Oh, de nada. Gracias por su entrevista. Um, my name is Pam. If I'm sure we've all hung out here before, we've been here together in the past, and tonight is kind of my baby. Um, I have been researching different ways you can use technology in order to communicate with people when you don't speak their language. And there are so many tools out there that are available, and I'm going to share some of them with you tonight. I have a PowerPoint. I'm not going to go through the whole PowerPoint. This isn't going to be one of those sit and get, but there's a couple things you can do with PowerPoint in order to do live translations, which can be very helpful in business or like town hall meetings. Sometimes, if you get together in a library and you have people of other languages joining in, I'm going to show you that briefly with the PowerPoint. And there's just a little bit of data that one slide, and it's going to be very quick. And I'm going to go through the different ways that you can translate documents, um, oral language, written language, how you can turn on captions on YouTube videos. So if you speak a different language and you want to switch back and forth between the languages you're comfortable with, or if you're just trying to, like someone was saying here, talk to students in their classroom who speak different languages, or even if you want to engage an audience or customers, potential customers, or if you have family members, you've married into a family and everyone on the other side of the family that you married into speaks Portuguese and you'd like to have a little more fun at family parties. Or if you like to travel, we'll show you all the different ways that you can use your phone or your computer. You can even hold a camera over a document and have it translate for you. And I'm going to show you how that happens. So to start off, I'm going to put my quick PowerPoint up here to show you a quick trip. And I am going to share this PowerPoint with everyone in this, you'll get an email later. Okay, so I'm not in the pretty PowerPoint version. Usually people want to start with the slideshow up and you don't see all of the tools here for PowerPoint. I want to show you something you can do with PowerPoint. If you go up to slideshow here, like you were going to start your slideshow, you have over here on the right, you have always use subtitles. If you check that off, when you start your PowerPoint, it will have live captions at the bottom of the PowerPoint that you're giving. And this can be very helpful if you have someone who's hard of hearing or if it's a very noisy room. I was at a funeral once and the air handler over everyone's head was so loud, and the woman who was doing the eulogy had the softest voice. So we did use this captioning. But if you look underneath subtitle settings here, kind of hovering here, you can pick your spoken language. So I'm going to say I'm speaking English from the United States. If you're speaking English from a different country, you can pick a different one. And then I can say the subtitle language. So it defaults to English to English. You can see English picked here. I'm going to go down and I'm going to select Spanish as a choice here. Then I can also decide where I want my subtitles to appear. So if you have a room and everyone's sitting at the same level on like folding chairs, you might want to put it on the top. And I'm going to put it on the top now because I think that someone's captionings might be on the bottom, and maybe that'll prevent it from overlaying. So now that I've made those settings in PowerPoint, I'm going to go to my PowerPoint and start it from the beginning. And now when I speak, these slides are going to translate my words into Spanish.
Mm.
Now, whenever you use translation tools like this, it's important to speak clearly and slowly. It will keep up with you if you speak quickly, but you have to make sure that the words aren't going by so fast that it's hard for someone to read them. Okay, and this is available in PowerPoint. It is, if you don't have PowerPoint, you can get it just by going to office.com, and you can get a free version of PowerPoint, and it will have this option. Now I'm going to stop sharing a second. So if you're using something like this, and you have like Google Slides normally, you can upload your Google Slides and open them in PowerPoint. So you don't, if you're more comfortable creating with PowerPoint, Google Slides, you don't have to use PowerPoint. You can use this. Now here, what I'd also like to point out is you don't have to have a PowerPoint to use that tool. You can open up a blank slide and just turn it on and use those live captioning options to talk to someone or to engage with someone. So it's a really handy tool for group presentations. If you're a teacher and you want to just open up PowerPoint and put it on a smartboard behind you, you can use that. There are other options, because I know someone here was saying it was kindergarten class that they usually, I think it was Marie that she works with, and kindergartners, while they speak Spanish, may not be able to read their native language yet. They're still pre-readers. So I will show you different ways that you can use technology to speak the language for you too, not just show captioning. So let's see, I have a new message here. Does anybody have any questions on PowerPoint? Okay. Now, next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to show you, like I was going to, told you before, going back to my little PowerPoint here, and I'm going to move forward. Come on. Let's stop sharing here a second. Let me just get into my, take the PowerPoint out of its main screen here a second. Zoom is being a little goofy with me. Stop sharing. Okay, and there we go. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so we're going to show you this slide here quickly. Now, like I said, this is the only data that I'm going to show you tonight. Now, it used to be, now Google Translate, if you've used it in the past, it's been around for close to 20 years. It's really old technology. And it was almost laughable how bad the translations would be. And many people kind of walked away from it like, yeah, Google Translate doesn't work. But there's been so many improvements since 2016 that now English and Spanish, you'll see human. This is the human translator. And neural GMT, this is the current style of translation. Look how close they are. And it's getting closer and closer, especially for the Eastern languages. Now, this is from 2016. I have other slides. I'm not going to show you all of them, but it's getting better because of the artificial intelligence that's being used. It used to be that you put in a sentence and it would replace each word with an English bridge to put it across, and you'd get strange sentences. Didn't work well. Now, like when you were watching my translation, you'd see it would kind of go back and correct its sentences and correct the words. It looks at the whole body of what you're saying now. So the translation is hundreds of times better than it was in the past. So if you have someone, they push back and they're like, yeah, Google Translate, it's not good. Not anymore. It's gotten very strong. So the next thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at Google Translate on the web. And this is a free, you don't have to install an app. You don't have to add any software to your computer to use this. And I'm going to go back here and we're going to close this. And I'm just going to open Chrome. You can use any browser that you like. And I'm going to type the words Google Translate. And there I have this little area here, a little widget that pops right up. And if you were to type Google Translate on your phone, it would also pop up. It has the option here, detect language. So I can paste a language in here and it'll automatically detect what it is. So let's do hola. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué tal? You can see it changed to Spanish. It detected as Spanish and it has put in, hello, how are you? Or how are you? Now, if I'm going to hit this X to close it, this arrow's right here in the middle. If I click it, it's going to swap sometimes, but I can pick a different language. I'm going to pick English on this side where I'm going to enter the text. And let's change it. Any suggestions on language? You can either put it in the chat or just unmute your mic. You can see there's quite a bit of languages available.
Go with Japanese.
You want to go with Japanese?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know why, but sure.
Let's do Japanese. Okay. So
I've
I'm
never
going
even
to
seen what that looks like.
welcome to our class on language translation. So I'm just typing this and I'm going to listen in English. Did I share what sound? Were you able to hear that?
Slightly.
All right, let me just reshare with sound. A second. Share sound. Share, perfect. Okay.
Welcome to our class on language translation.
Now, on the other side, it gives me the correct Japanese characters. It also gives me the phonetic pronunciation of those characters. Or I can hit the same button here and have it read out loud for me.
言語翻訳のクラスへようこそ。
Okay. So if you wanted to say something to someone in their language, you can type yours and then have it play out loud. Right next to it is a little copy and paste, and you can click that to copy your translation, and then you can paste it into an email, into a text message, anything that you would want to communicate with. All right. So another option here, I'm going to switch this back to English a second on the translation side.
And Pam, excuse me, I imagine you can do this on your phone, because if you're wanting to speak a different language with another person, or somewhere where you need to either, figure out what they're talking about, you can do
Yep.
this on your phone. So
Yes.
there is some mobility here. I don't have to be at my computer to
No.
go to
No.
Google Translate on the computer. I could do it on my phone if I'm somewhere
Right.
outside or somewhere else, right?
Yep. And you can just, like I said, go to Google Translate on your phone, and this same little widgety box is going to show up on your phone, so you can use it. Now, another option that they have here is, you see there's a microphone. So if you have someone who speaks a different language, you can have it on auto detect language, click that microphone and have them talk into your phone or talk into the microphone, and you will see the translation. So again, my Spanish is not the best, but I'm going to use it now as a demonstration. ¿Qué tal? Me llamo.
How are you?
So it says, how are you? Gracias. Todos es perfecto.
Thank you all, it's perfect.
So you see, it will actually read it back and forth to you. And if you hit these arrows, you can switch back to English. Thank you for coming tonight. I really appreciate you being here.
Gracias por venir esta noche. Realmente aprecio que estés aquí.
So you can use this free app to go back and forth in order to communicate or talk with other people using just your phone or just your computer. There are specialized apps that are also free that make it a little easier to use, and I'll show you those later. But in an emergency situation, say if you saw a parent who was frantic speaking another language and you turn this on, you may find out that they've lost their child and they're scared and they need some help. So this is an option that you can use. Now, at the bottom of this widget, now this is specifically for the web version of Google Translate. And again, this is free. At the bottom, if I go here to open Google Translate and click on that, this brings you to a bigger version of Google Translate. The previous version allowed you to put 1,000 characters. This one allows you 5,000 characters. So it gives you more room to either paste an entire letter in there that you might need, anything that you might want. And I'm just going to switch this here. So one of the most handy things that they have here is documents. If I select documents, I can upload any file that I have. It could be a PDF, it could be a Word document, it could be a PowerPoint, and it will translate it for me into the language I chose. So I'm going to upload here. Let's see, choose a file. I'm going to pick the PowerPoint we were just looking at. Translations with Technology. And then once I have that, it will upload. And it's going to be English to Spanish. I don't know why it didn't take. Let me try it again. Open. Might be there's another window open up somewhere. Go here. I'll pick something else. Let me pick a paper. There we go. I don't know why PowerPoint was maybe the PowerPoint was too big. Okay. So this is a paper that's written in English. I can either open the translation or I can download it. I'm going to download it, so I have a copy. And once I open it, you'll see that this paper has been translated into Spanish. But not only has, I'm going to zoom it up a little bit, not only has it been translated into Spanish, it lets you know that it was machine translated by Google, it keeps the formatting, it keeps the fonts. It does a very good job of retaining the layout of the original document. So if you have a newsletter that you want to put out and you go on to give it to a multilingual audience, or if you're in education, you have a worksheet that you want to send to someone or a child, you can use this to translate. I do want to point out, though, I'm going to go over here to the side. You'll see here the picture of the book cover is still in English. So if you use this, any images that have words on them, those words will not be translated because it's not text. It's like this, I can highlight because it's text. So if you use any kind of banners or logos on your documents, just know those won't translate. So like here, this is also check for updates. This is a button. So this is an image. So it's important to note that. Okay. Now I'm going to close my Ghostwriter.
Ugh,
That's okay. I got it. I see a hands up, Beth.
no.
Okay. You just had your hand raised. That's fine.
That was mine. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So the next option that you have as well on this bigger website for Google Translate is this button here, which says websites. If I click that, you can put any website address in here. I'm going to use, let's use SUNY Empires. Why not? So I'm going to do sunyempire.edu. It will then open this website for me, and we were set to Spanish to English. Let's switch it from, let's make it, it's English to, let's do Lithuanian. Okay, so now you can see that the website has been translated into
You're muted, Pam.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Right, thanks. Did you just see the demonstration of me to where to know where I got muted at what point? What was the last thing you heard?
When the picture came on and you
Okay.
are not speaking.
Okay. So this website is now going from English to Lithuanian. And you can see that any of the text here has been changed. This is an image. So SUNY Empire State University did not get changed. But something like this, once you've swapped the website, you can share this link with someone. So if it was a website that you wanted to share, maybe about health or with someone who speaks a different language, you can share this translated link with someone in an email. You can also print this page and it could be a handout. So if you do any kind of service, or if you'd like to say if it's Nat Geo and it's a wonderful resource for your classroom, or more information that you'd like to share in different languages, you can share it. And when they get this link too, they can also switch to a different language as well, just by using this. So this is a way that you can share websites and have them translated. And as you can see, the website kept its format. It wasn't just, raw text being cut and copied. Okay.
So what is
So,
it? You went on the website and then you got
yep.
uh,
So,
Google Translate and then it worked
mhm, yep,
translated? Okay.
it did. So from the Google Translate, when we were just on the main page, and I'm just going to close all of this and we'll take it from the top again so you just see it quick. So here I'm in my usual Google. I happen to be on a computer. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to type Google Translate as my search term. It brings it up. And then here at the bottom is where the bigger Google Translate is. This is like a cute tool to help you. But the bigger Google Translate is where you can find to translate a website, documents, images. So if you have a picture of words in a different language, and I'm going to just get an example, Spanish road signs. There we go. So here's one for yield. I'm going to save this image as, just going to put it on my desktop quick. Here's another one. Image as. Put this on the desktop too. Okay. So here with this item, if I'm on images, I can browse my files. You see, I have this image here. And if I open it, it translated it into yield. So if you have an image, like I was showing before with those documents, and you really wanted it to be translated, you could translate the images like this, and then you can paste them into your document if you needed to. So if you had a chart, if you had something that you wanted to add in there, you could do that. So these are the different ways that you can translate using just this website. Okay. Now, Google Translate also has a extension for Chrome. So if I am in Google Chrome extension here, and again, this is in my PowerPoint, and I go to the Google Translate Chrome store, I already have it installed. So yours would say install. And once you have that, you have this little button, which gives you a quick translating tool. And you can also translate a page just by clicking on it. So you don't have to go to the main website. It'll just automatically translate the pages that you're on. So if I were to go to, let's go to the Rojan Library's website. So I'm here. And by using a little extension, I can say translate this page. And now it's translated the website into Spanish for me, except for extra things here. Tech Labs, again, an image. And you can click this to switch back and forth from English to Spanish. Learning a new language, or if you're working with people who are trying to learn a new language, you can use that. And I like to point out that the Rojan Library has done a beautiful job of adding translation tools and accessibility to their website as well. So there's also translation tools here that are built in. So thank you, Rojan, for that. I was very impressed when I saw that added to your site.
Actually, all of the Columbia County libraries have that on them.
Do they really?
They
Columbia
do.
County.
Yes, we bought them as a county. We bought that as.
That's outstanding. I'm really like I said, that made me smile, made me happy. So thank you, Columbia County. It's that's quite impressive. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing there for a second. see if anybody has any questions about that, because I'm going to move on to the cell phone in a little bit. Okay, so let me just get my phone up here.
Who she reminds me of?
Let's see.
A woman in Western New York State.
There we go.
I know that, right?
So here we go. And Beth, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to mute my microphone in a second because I'm going to show you the ways that you can use your phone to do the same thing. I'm going to call Pam's phone.
So that was all computers.
That was all on your computer.
Wonderful. That's all I have. Don't have a cell phone.
Okay. So that was, yes, that was all the computer-based stuff. So I'm going to join this here. And when my microphone kicks in, I'm going to kill the microphone here. Pam's phone, admit. Can you hear me? Whoa. How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So I'm going to make Pam's phone a co-host a second, or Beth, I think you need to do that.
I'm sorry, what do you want me to do? You want me to do Pam's phone as a, well, you're unmuted.
Right. No, I'm speaking on my phone.
So what do you, I'm sorry, do you want me to?
Make Pam's phone a co-host.
Got it.
Please.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Wasn't sure what you wanted, but now I've got it. Does
There
it
we go.
automatically take you off as co-host with your other? No, it doesn't really
Nope.
matter.
No, it keeps me there.
Okay. Good.
Screen. Okay. So now we've switched up to the phone. Okay, and I have installed on my phone here 2 different translator apps. One is Translate, which is the one on the top right, and on the left is Translator. The one on the top with the G on it is the one for Google Translate. Okay, and that is free. You can get it from your iTunes store or your Google Play store if you have an Android. And I'm going to open that now. I'm going to tap that one with the G. And you can see this looks a lot like the tiny little thing that we had before, where you can go back and forth between Spanish and English by switching those arrows back and forth. I can enter my text. Let me see. Right there. So you can see it translates. It also gives me some quick suggestions. So if I don't feel like typing the whole thing, I can. It does have the speaker just underneath, like before, so you could have it play out loud. Okay. Now, if I go back and I hit the back arrow at the top, you'll see here I have a microphone at the bottom. The microphone, if I were to click that, it would allow me to speak out loud and it would change the translation. So, tengo un libro en español por Paulo Coelho. Let's see if it's Tengo un libro en español. I think because the microphone is being hooked up with Zoom right now. It's not working. But you can see here, you can use that to use the microphone to go back and forth. It also has at the bottom, you see to the bottom right of the microphone is a camera. If I touch the camera, you'll see that I can put it over a book or an item, and it'll translate it into English. So this is a book in Spanish, and it will take the words and switch them into English for me. Now, lighting's here a little bit bad. Let me go over here. So you can see that it will change it. And if I were to click that white button at the bottom, it will take a picture of the translated words for me. And then I can send it to Translate Home. I can select only the text. I could have it read out loud for me.
Pam, I have a funny story about that, exactly what you did.
Okay.
When I was in Spain and I bought a bag of beans that I knew I couldn't get here. It was some special bean. It probably wasn't that special, but I thought it was anyway. And I brought the bag home and the directions were all in Spanish. How to cook them, what to add to it. There's just things in there that I wasn't sure what I should do. And so I did that, exactly what you did with my phone. I took a photo of the bag. I had to try and flatten the bag out, obviously, but I, took a photo of it and it translated it as best as it could. It was a little bit, some of the words were just not quite right. They were certainly or they might have been Basque language, but yeah, I did exactly that, and it was perfect. It actually translated all the instructions in Spanish or from Spanish to English. It was really a good tool. It was a great thing to use. So it works.
Oh,
It definitely worked.
That's an excellent example, and it's something that I was just switch this over here a second. Another thing that's very clever with this is it actually works very well on handwriting. So if you have archives or letters, family history that's written in a different language, you can use this to go over those handwritten words and see it translated into English. So it does work with handwritten notes. It doesn't have to be just printed notes. Works great on menus if you're traveling, or if you see you're in a hotel and you're trying to read signs on the wall or directions. It does work fantastic for that. Okay. So the other option that we have here on Google Translate is just to the left, they have conversation button. And if I touch that, what this does, and of course my microphone's not working as well, is it will auto detect the languages and go back and forth. So before you had to hit the microphone and then switch from English back and forth. Here it listens for both languages at the same time. So you can have it like on a desk somewhere, and you can have a more comfortable conversation and not constantly be poking at your screen. So for the educator who wanted to work with children, you can use this to go back and forth and speak with the child. Now, do note, I just want to make sure that when you do speak with someone, or especially a child in an education system, make sure you don't say any personal information into Google Translate. So kind of avoid saying names, ages, because for a school situation, or if you work at a town hall, there is FERPA, HIPAA, all kinds of regulations that you want to be careful of. So make sure that that you're mindful of that you try and keep things just informational, and you try and not discuss personal items on this. There are different paid versions of translation that are HIPAA compliant. If you need more information on that, send me an email and I will send you the information on how to get one of those devices that will translate, and you can have conversations without compromising someone's private information. But just know, when you use translation software, it does go to Google, it does go to Microsoft, it goes to other places. Okay. So next up is the Microsoft version of using a translator. This one here, the green one on the bottom left, is also free, and it's Microsoft Translator. And out of the two, this one has better translation. The quality is higher than Google. And one of the reasons for that is when I click here and I select languages and go down to, say, Spanish, it gives me more than just Spanish from just in one bucket. It'll actually go into different dialects in Latin America. So the language choices that you have, you have a better chance of, it won't just say like English and everybody speaks English. As you know, someone from Texas sounds a whole lot different than someone from London. So it does do that for you. This one, I won't demonstrate the typing thing again because it works the same as Google. It has the camera feature, just like I demonstrated in Google. You can put it over documents. Where this is different is the conversation button. So that's the one that's just to the bottom right of the microphone. If you touch that one, this starts a live conversation with multiple users. So if I were to hit start here, I am the host. I can say I'm Pam and I'm speaking English. Once I create that conversation, other people with the translator app can either visit that URL or visit that QR code, and they pick on their phone what language they want to hear and what language they want to speak. So you can have a group of people together and someone could pick Portuguese, someone could pick Mandarin, someone could pick Spanish, and you can have a multilingual group of people all speak with each other. They wear their headphones, they can speak. I can ask a question in Spanish. The English speakers will hear my question in English. The Ukrainians will hear it in Ukrainian, and it will be almost like a UN situation. It's a fabulous tool for getting a group of people or organizing people together who speak different languages. Some of the agricultural industry that we have around here, this is a very helpful tool for them because they can speak to other workers in different languages as well. So once that's done and I hit enter, anyone who can, you can hit that microphone and we can speak back and forth and use different languages to all communicate at the same time. And it's a tremendous tool and it works very well. There is a school in Ramapo where they have students who speak Spanish and Haitian Creole. And it used to be that teachers would have to go to one side of the room, speak in Spanish, then speak in English, and then have someone speak in French, which was close enough. And it took so long to get all of the students to learn their lessons because the 30-minute lesson had been cut into thirds. This way, all of the students, all the people could learn together at the same time. Now, a reason why the emergency services workers prefer this one to the other application is at the very bottom of the screen, you'll see a picture of a book. If you click that book, it gives you a quick phrase book of sentences and things that you might need to say. At the bottom, you'll see I have it set from English to Spanish. So if I were to pick the emergency and say, I need to take your pulse, It'll show the text. It'll say it out loud for me. I can share it as a text message. I can copy it. So there is some quick phrase books here that you can use to help someone. So, and if it was someone who spoke Spanish, you could hit the bottom here and they might say, what's wrong? And they're like, upset stomach. And then you could see at the bottom, oh, okay, their stomach's upset. So it's a quick way that you can use this to communicate. And then like if you're traveling and you wanted to talk about food, you can say, I would like some water. With no ice. So I can use this to quickly say things, or like if you're in a restaurant, you're allergic. So this quick phrase book is absolutely fantastic. So it is something that I definitely recommend. Out of the two, this is the one that I find is the most accurate. The sound, then I'm going to stop sharing here a second.
Excuse me, Pam. So I don't have some of those features. Is it that my Microsoft Translator or whatever is just out of date, and if I updated it, it would have all of that good stuff? Because it doesn't seem to
have it.
Are you using?
Let me just stop participant sharing here and come back here. Now there's two different applications. The Microsoft Translator is the one in green.
Right. That's
the one in blue with a G is the Google Translator.
Right. But the one you were just on was the Microsoft one that was green. I don't know if they have different versions of it, like the iPhone has different versions.
The iPhone has a little bit different version. This is the Android phone. The iPhone one is in the settings where you'll find the phrase book.
Okay. Got it.
The phrase book's not on the bottom corner where it's most convenient.
Right. Okay.
But they do have it.
So Pam, I just installed it on my phone and I was looking it up and I was doing Irish and it just recorded everything. It picked up everything you said and it recorded.
That's great. Did it translate it though?
It translated it, yes. I can't read it, but it translated it.
Right.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay. This is great.
It is great.
Oh, there's a microphone. Okay.
Okay.
You muted, Pam?
A tremendous tool for that. So I'm just going to take my cell phone out of the mix here a second, and I'm going to switch back to my computer. Okay, and put my back this on. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I'm going back to my computer now, and I wanted to show you something that's hidden in Microsoft. And I'm going to open up Microsoft Word here for a second. Okay. So here in Microsoft Word, I'm going to open this Word document here. You can see here I have a what is this doing here? Hang on a second. Microsoft Word's giving me some grief here. Okay, so with Microsoft Word, I have here, there is a way that you can translate your Microsoft Word inside of Microsoft Word without having to download the file and upload it again. Here under View, right here near the top, you see where it's File, Home, Insert, View. If I click that, there's something here called the Immersive Reader, which sounds like a strange, why is this translation? The Immersive Reader is a tool. Oh, this is not the one that I like, but anyway, let's say that we have to use the the one online. Hang on a second, excuse me. I have the older one. Give me a second. There you go. Yes. That's security. Which our next class is on cybersecurity. So 6-3. Yes.
And it's in Spanish.
And it's in Spanish because I practico mucho. So here's go to this one here. Okay, so here in Microsoft, if you go to View and go to the Immersive Reader, the Immersive Reader is a means to turn your document into something bigger so it's easier to read. This was set up for special education. You can have it read out loud for you.
Module 4.1.
But over here, this looks a lot like the book that was at the bottom of the Microsoft app. If you click that, you can choose to translate a language. So I'm going to choose Spanish. Here it gives me Latin American Spanish, Spanish from Mexico, or Spanish from Spain. I'm going to pick Latin American. And if I select the document, the entire document is going to be changed over into Spanish. And I'm going to just play it shortly here.
Módulo 4.1. Introducción. Pam Doran. Liderazgo y cambio educativo, SUNY Empire.
Okay. The way it reads out loud is very clear, very beautiful Spanish. So if I was going to record a message, for a school or for a podcast, whatever, this is the one that I would choose. Here in the voice settings, you can even change it from male to female, and you can change the speed of the
Empire.
voice.
2024 SP, EDLC 6003-01, Métodos de Investigación en Educación.
Okay. Now, if it's someone who's learning a language, if you click on a word, like this is education, it will give you the English word, which you can listen to.
Education.
It also gives you some pictures to help you understand the word as well. So here's investigation.
Research. Research.
Investigación.
So it allows you to go here and you can switch back and forth from the Spanish to the original as well. You can copy and paste this into a different, into a website, into an email, but this we'll bring this down to a little bit slower language here. Hang on a second. Go down to the slowest language. You'll see that even when it plays it slowly, it doesn't slur.
Investigación en educación. Instructora, doctor.
So here, if you're in education and you have a student that maybe is trying to learn the language or trying to learn English, or if you're trying to learn Spanish or another language, you can slow it down for them as well so that they can understand it and they can begin to learn the language. There's also some extra tools here for changing contrast, changing fonts, and text size. So that gives you a whole bunch of tools there. Mark off what are nouns, what are verbs. So if you're in education, this is a lovely, lovely tool to work with. And like I said, if I was to try and record, if I was to pick any of the best sounding of the audio, it would be definitely the Immersive Reader. And the Immersive Reader, as a Microsoft product, it's not just in Word. It's starting to get rolled out into websites, other software. So if you happen to see that button, immersive reader, in any other products that you're using, or even like forms or whatever, if you see that immersive reader there, that means it is accessible for someone in a different language, or if it's someone with dysgraphia, or if it's someone who's dyslexic. It's a tool that they can use as well to have it read out to them. So, okay. Anyone have any other questions about what I've shown you so far? Any ideas on how you might use it?
These have all been recorded, yes?
Yes.
So I can play it again and hear what you said again?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm
Okay.
also, right now, I'm going to put in the chat my PowerPoint.
That would be good. And Pam, so I'm thinking about, and I just chatted with Tammy on the chat. I think even for the library, in translating certain things, whether they're flyers or documents or things, I don't know quite what Tammy and the team are doing there now, but all these are great tools. The Word document translation, things are on your phone, whatever it is, but on your computer, it's just great to be able to do that, because there are people that come into the library that speak other languages, and we need to obviously translate certain literature or certain communications. So it's really very helpful. I learned a lot from that. I didn't realize there was that many options to do that. Years ago, there weren't, and I remember trying to translate flyers in Spanish for Spanish-speaking people to come to certain events, and not so easy to do. But this is great.
Yeah, and it's affordable too, because while human translators are the gold standard, I don't feel that any of this will replace them.
Sure.
Something that's 85 to 90% accurate is so much better than zero. If you're trying to communicate with someone, or if you're traveling, try hiring someone to be your guide and someone to translate for you. That gets expensive as well.
Yeah, and I used the translator, all those tools when I traveled. I haven't traveled very much, but when I did, they were great to have, even for menus, taking pictures of a menu, or just finding out what am I eating. It works. It really works. They're really great tools. They really are.
And one thing I would suggest, if you're going to use any of these tools, the best thing to do to get used to them and to play with them, because sometimes it can feel a little nerve-wracking, the first time you're taking out your phone, like communicate with you. Go on YouTube and find people speaking different languages on YouTube, and then take out your phone and see how well you can translate it. So use that to start learning how to use translate. If you have friends who speak other languages, play with it with them, and explore and get used to the switching of the buttons and switching back and forth to the languages, and play with it. Especially kids, they really enjoy it. I really enjoyed in school a child who was Spanish speaking and an English speaking child. I would send them out to the recess with an iPad and Google Translate. And the two of them became best of friends, and they started passing the iPad back and forth to play games and learn games from their different countries. And towards the end of the school year, they were able to speak each other's language for the most part. It was kind of wild. So it ended up being a very nice bridge between the students. So that was
Here's what I found on the web.
Google's jumping in here. So another tool that I use all the time, because I'm actively trying to use Spanish and learn Spanish because it's helping me with my investigation. If you have an Alexa or a Google Home in your house, you can ask it to translate words for you. So a lot of times when I'm cooking and I'm trying to explain the recipe in Spanish and I can't remember what lettuce is, you can say, Alexa, how do you say lettuce in Spanish? And it'll go, lettuce in Spanish is lechuga. Or you can use that also as a bridge and as a quick translator. So if you have any of those smart home devices, feel free to try those out too. When you're off this phone and you have an Alexa, try it out. Ask her to sing happy birthday to you in Spanish. See what happens. It's pretty cool. But they will translate for you. Okay. So we're kind of ending a little early here. We're kind of a smaller group. There's not as many questions as our bigger groups. But I will you'll definitely have the recording. I can add the file here. This is my PowerPoint slide, which I'm going to share with you. So you feel free to download that. I didn't show the entire PowerPoint. There's more information on the end, a lot of the tools. And I also have
You sending a link to this recording?
No. It's a PowerPoint that she had posted.
No, but I want the link to whatever we're doing here today.
You'll be able to get that on the library in a few
days. It'll be on our website, Amelia.
Yeah,
in a couple of days.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
We're still working on we're still live in that recording yet. When we close out the Zoom, then it starts
it'll be a couple of days probably before we get it up.
Right.
But we will get it a couple of days. Right. If anyone has any questions at all about how to use the apps, or how to you have questions that go beyond, I'm going to put my email address in the chat. So if you ever have any questions about any of the tech labs that we do, either this one or ones that have happened in the past, or if you just have a question, more than happy to answer if I can. I usually reply back within 24 hours. Sometimes I send screencasts to help. I can't always help every issue. There was one that came up recently that was unfortunate. There was no way to get back text messages that disappeared. But I'm happy to answer any of your questions. Our next meeting is going to be on cybersecurity, I believe.
Truly. Yeah. And that's the 27th. In case any of you had it on your calendar for the 20th, we changed that to the 27th. So mark your calendars, but you'll get an email. If you sign up, you'll get an email a day before or 2 days before of that class. But it is the 27th is our next one. So it's in 3 weeks, not 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. I had something come up at work. I had to switch one of the days. So.
And that's a good one. So anybody that's hung around this long, where there were 6 of you, the cybersecurity one is an excellent class. Everybody should know it. Everybody should be passing that information to all the people that you know and love, because it's really important to be cyber secure, as they say. So it's a very good thing to have. So mark your calendar for that one.
This has been, I found this very informative tonight, Pam. And I just think it's great. I downloaded it onto my phone, and I'm going to share some of this with a couple of the kindergarten teachers tomorrow when I go into sub, because I don't think they're aware of everything that they can do on their cell phones with some of the students that they have. And the other good thing too is I like when they send a reminder the day or 2 days before, then you don't have to go down through your emails and say, when did they send that link for the next one?
Oh, you mean for the class, Marie?
Yes.
I try and send it 2 days before, and then I do a reminder on that day so that you
right
so you really don't forget.
no, which is great, because like the one that I had before this, I had to go down through all my emails, and if I don't mark what day I sign up for it, it takes a little bit of time. But this has been, I have truly enjoyed this one. Not that I haven't enjoyed them all, but this one is really great.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Kindergartners very much. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Good luck. And if you need anything, or anybody has any questions about anything with translation, or if you're said things at the library, always happy to help with this one. This is something that near and dear to my heart. So
I see our friend Anita
joined.
Thank you, Pam. Right. I don't know when she came in, but perfect. All right. Very informative. Great. Okay, ladies, have a great night.
Night, everyone. Thank you, Pam. It was terrific.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Couple of weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
In 3 weeks.
Bye-bye.
All right, stay safe until then.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thanks, Erwin.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Pam. Always.
See you soon.
Always. Bye.